Hello, everybody. Welcome or welcome back to Tiny Tiger Collective. I'm Helena, and I am so thrilled to be able to unbox my Hobonichi 2026 order with all of you here today. This box had quite a bit of a journey in getting to me. So I placed my order within 45 minutes of launch, September the 1st. The box remained with Hobonichi for the entire week. And it wasn't until Saturday when I received a notification that it was getting ready to be shipped out. But being the weekend, nothing happened until it was sent to Narita on Monday. It stayed in Narita for 4 days. And then it went on a little bit of an Asian tour. So it was then scanned in Guangzhou, then scanned in Ho Chi Minh City, and then it was scanned in Singapore and stayed in Singapore all weekend before it finally arrived on Australian shores on Monday night. And after that, it cleared customs so quickly. And I was so excited to see that it crossed state lines overnight and it was on a van by this morning. Now, this week is when my new teaching semester began at university, and this was dropped on my doorstep literally the moment I had to run out my door and to deliver my first lecture of the semester. So I went through work and went through my class, all while half thinking about this box that was sitting on my desk. And it's so joyful to be able to run home and share this moment with all of you. What kind of person do you like? Do you want to be like them? I think you are like that, even if it's just a little bit. How curious. All right, I guess this is the promotional pamphlet about Hobonichi's app. And I believe there's a bit of a free offer where you get 5 photographs. It looks like I have a bag of my accessories and my freebies. Oh, so here are my books for next year. I've got my Hobonichi techo, the A6 size, which I'm going to use as another toddler journal and extending from the one that I was so fulfilled to be able to keep this year. This is the cousin that I almost forgot to buy. So I had placed my order. And then only when I was scrolling through the invoice did I realize that I forgot to pick up the cousin. And I had to cancel my first order and immediately place another one with the actual books that I intended to keep for my 2026 journaling ecosystem. So here is my cover on cover. And the A6 movement cover that I bought. It's so, so sweet. All right, I'm really excited to feel the texture for myself because I've seen a few unboxings now where people talk about a slightly different texture. Okay, that doesn't feel too unusual to me. I dare say it's probably the same material as the Keiko Shibata Mr. and Mrs. Inouye Bus Management cover that I've been using in 2025. It's just a lovely soft canvas material. And oh, there's the beautiful tassel bookmarks. I love it when Hobonichi creates a kind of novelty bookmark. Like, again, my one from this year uses these little circles that echoes the bus tires in the picture itself. There's the lovely robot themed pamphlet. I can't wait to do this with my acrylic markers. There's the care guide for Hobonichi covers. And here's the beautiful artist's card for this moomin cover. I always love holding on to these cards and keeping them in the front pockets. Is there anything more beautiful than seeing the blank pages of a brand new Hobonichi planner with nothing but the promises for all the precious memories that are going to fill those pages in the coming year? Everything still feels so crisp as a new book and a new cover, unlike my existing techo that it just really relaxes with use. And there's the little extra sleeve to help you reach the pocket underneath. Oh, I didn't even get to look inside there. I love all the hidden features and pockets. I can't quite bear to take this wrapping off just yet and have it potentially gather dust from my desk. So I'm going to keep the book like this until I'm ready to start writing in it in December. I don't know if I am foolishly optimistic in buying a cousin for 2026 and keeping it alongside a daily toddler journal in my A6 techo, but I love a good challenge. If you're a Hobonichi user, do you like the Japanese or do you like the English editions? I've always bought the Japanese edition. But last year, when I made my really big order, I did want to experiment with different formats. So I decided to purchase my two Hobonichi weeks in the English edition so I could properly read and understand all of the quotes at the bottom of the daily pages. But then only to find that most days I couldn't be bothered reading the quotes, so I can't actually tell you what any of them say at all. So, in some ways, I'm quite glad that I'm keeping it in Japanese because then at least it doesn't distract me too much. Now, let's have a look at what accessories I bought. Let me set the gifts aside for now. Okay, so I decided to pick up a packet of the Moomin blotting paper. And I have to admit, these are even smaller than I imagined. I saw the pictures, I saw the dimension. I knew it was going to be smaller than an A6, but I find there's something about the camera that often makes planners, journals, and accessories look so much larger than they are, even when the content creator's hands are in there for scale. And it's always when I'm holding the objects in my own hands in person that I realize, how precious and tiny all of these items are. I don't currently own any blotting paper at all. And as a fountain pen user, I don't know how I've been able to go for so long without them. but I honestly just tear off a piece of paper from a writing pad. I'll fold it up to the size of whatever planner I happen to be using, if it's A6, A5, if it's my TN. And if there's a page that I've freshly written with fountain pen ink and it's just a little bit damp, I'll just honestly stick that piece of paper in and know that it will pick up the tiny little bits of ink that may not have fully dried. So I'm curious to see what a difference using actual blotting paper designed for that purpose will be like. I couldn't help myself. I had to own one of the beautiful things designed by Sanae Yuri. I wasn't going to get their cover on cover, but I felt that purchasing this little pack of transparent post it notes or fusen would help me feel like I owned a piece of this wonderfully serene painting. And I decided to treat myself to the set of stamps. I was actually forewarned in another unboxing that I watched that these stamps are teeny tiny, but they are even smaller than I imagined. I mean, this can all fit into the palm of my hand. These are so small. I can actually see myself probably just using these in my A6 techo, which is great because that's the one that comes with a matching moomin cover. I imagine these little elements are going to look a little bit too small and they're going to dwarf in the A5 cousin pages. So I imagine these little borders will be so cute in the vertical weekly spreads or in the monthly boxes. And I could put in maybe a couple of these on the daily pages of the A6, but I wouldn't really be able to use this in the A5 cousin daily spreads. Of course, I say that you can do whatever you want. Who cares if your stamp element is a little bit small on the A5 page? These are so cute. I bet I wouldn't be able to resist using them in every book that I have, irrespective of the page size. Even this little backing card for the stamps is so cute with all the Moomin characters and the artworks, although mine is a little bit bent. Now, you might notice I didn't purchase a Weeks this year, but that didn't stop me from purchasing a Weeks backing sheet or pencil board. This was the design by Io Okumi. And while I wasn't quite tempted to pick up a Io Okumi cover this year, I've always found some excuse to own some piece of this stunning artwork. So last year I purchased the Io Okumi set of A6 folders, which I use tucked into the back of my A6 techo to keep ephemera and stickers, and they are so functional as well as beautiful. So this year, while again I didn't pick up a cover, something about this particular week's pencil board just spoke to me so much. These characters are so fascinating. I especially love the details of this procession of characters who look like witches joining this lady for a tea party with her three dogs. And I love this little bird perched up in that tree branch, also with a little witch's hat. There are so many breathtaking details that are also, just a little bit occult. So I love this pencil board so much. And I think I was sharing it in one of Michael in the Margins videos. And a lovely person on his channel was sharing in my joy and reminding me that even without a week's book for 2026, that this pencil board will work beautifully as a bookmark in my cousin based on their experience. And that's one of the things that I adore about the stationery community is the mutual learning, sharing, and joy that we cultivate across our channels on YouTube. So for me, a relatively restrained order, especially compared to last year, but I couldn't be happier with the items that I purchased. So because I got a cousin and an A6 techo, I received 2 of these tiny robots. This has been so thoughtfully packaged as well. Oh, so sweet. My little robot friend is going to keep me company on this writing desk, so you might be seeing them around in my videos. Good old robot. How wonderful. It really reminds me that one of the things I love the most about Hobonichi is their quirkiness, their whimsy. They have so much fun with their designs, their themes, with the artists that they collaborate with. And every cover design evokes a wide range of emotions and speaks to a variety of different tastes. There's something for everybody in Hobonichi. And I've also got the 2 pens from this year. So I'll open up one of them to have a closer look at the color. There we go. I really love this year's colors. There's this beautiful dusty blue, and I think this is a kind of deep maroon that reminds me of Unco or red bean paste. I've seen a few people comment about either their fondness or their disdain for the colors. So I'm not sure if people know this, but you can actually pull out all of these ink refills, and so if there's a different Hobonichi pen from a previous year that you really love the colors for, all you have to do is to fit them back in. I've even in the past swapped out different caps and different bodies when I thought that I had a color combination that I liked more than the one that came with Hobonichi. So these are actually quite versatile. Well, I could not be more pleased with my order this year. And I'm oddly proud of myself for not having gone as overboard as I did with my purchases last year. Although, not that I begrudge myself for getting really excited and treating myself, because that's something I struggle with a lot. I'm very, very good at leading an ascetic lifestyle and denying myself every pleasure under the sun. It is an ongoing practice of self compassion that I allow myself to have the occasional nice thing. And this feels like the perfect treat. I do not think I can wait until January 2026 to start working in these books. So, next week, I hope to carve out a little bit of time in between busy semester of teaching to maybe decorate a couple of spreads or set things up and lay out what I think I might do with all the different spreads, templates within these books. I'm really curious to hear in the comments section below. Have you ordered from Hobonichi this year? Did you receive your items? Or, like me, did your parcel perhaps undertake a little bit of a world tour before it found its way to your doorstep? And any plans that you have for your 2026 lineup, I would love to hear your experiences because learning from each other is such a gift in this planner community. Now, I personally have absolutely no need for 2 robots and 2 pens. So I am more than happy to pass these on to a good home. If you would like either the robot or the pen or both, please let me know in the comments below. And I would love to see these go to somebody who could derive a little bit of joy or a little bit of sweetness in having these items in your life. Thank you so much for being here and joining me for this little unboxing of my Hobonichi 2026 order. the real gift isn't in the dopamine hit of unboxing novel or pretty things, but it's in the peace, the calm that comes from actually writing in these books. And I really hope that I can continue sharing with you my planner and journaling journey. For now, I wish all of you a restful and restorative week ahead, and I cannot wait to see you next week. Take care for now, and bye bye.